I love the way you talk to me, so please get them right off of me. I know that you want me, but I just wanna be alone. Thinking about the times that you did me wrong. Been a while, been a minute, don't pick up the phone.
What's up, you guys, especially you guys from Michigan? I'll be at Battle Creek Firekeepers Casino. It's in between Detroit and Lansing. If you guys are in that area, I don't have an official meetup game, but on July 26th, I'll be there in the late afternoon to evening. So come out, hopefully we can film a vlog. Then I'm heading to northern Michigan to the lake house, and at some point I'm playing at Odawa, Petoskey, Michigan. If you guys are in northern Michigan, follow me on Instagram. Not sure exactly what date that's gonna be, but I'll post on my Instagram the day prior to let you guys know. Then if you guys are in Iowa, Indiana, or Ohio, I have big things planned in each of those states that I'm going to be heading out into that area. So if you guys are from any of those 3 states, drop a comment down below. Working with 3 casinos right now, trying to get some meetup games planned. Come make the vlog, and now let's jump into some hands. Mariano and Ethan are hosting a meetup game in Las Vegas, so I drive 5 hours from San Diego to get in on the action. It's a 2-5 game. We're in for $1,000. We get seated at the first table with Ethan just to our right. Time to catch some punts. First hand of the night, I look down at ace-queen offsuit from the hijack. Ethan in early position opens it up to 20. The player to his left, who goes by Lance, he puts in the call. Ace-queen offsuit, no-brainer 3-bet here. Gotta punish the players putting money in the pot. I raise it up to $75, and Ethan folds his cards. Lance ends up calling, so we're going heads up in position to a flop. 170 in the middle, the flop comes 9-6-4 rainbow, and Lance checks it over to me. Although this is a board that's gonna favor Lance way more than it is me, I decided to go for a c-bet here of $50, just trying to represent all of the overpairs in my range. When Lance puts in the call, not a great sign right off the bat, so we're off to a turn which comes the 4 of spades. Here's the bottom card, but really shouldn't change too much. If he has a drawing hand, we still have him beat. If he has a made hand, he has us beat again, so I decided to check behind here when he checks to me on the turn. If I go large here, I'm really just representing the sets like 9s and 6s or my overpairs. I think that I'm gonna have a lot more bluffs in this spot, so I'm gonna check behind and see what the river card brings in, which is the 5 of hearts. Hoping Lance checks it to me to get to showdown, I'll check behind. That's not what happens. He bets out for $120, and really with no piece of this board or any relevant blockers, I find a fold, and he's kind enough to show us a bluff. King Jack offsuit, so that's gonna take it down. Nice hand, Lance.
If only had my favorite hand, pocket 7s.
I can't win on that.
I have pocket 7s.
I didn't know we were doing.
You have pocket 7s? How do you have pocket 7s, bro?
When Ethan leaves the table, another friendly face takes his spot. It's Mariano, and hopefully we can get into some hands with him as well. Good start here. I'm in the small blind and look down at the ladies, and the few limps to me, so I open it up to $30. We get 3 callers, so going 4 ways to the flop here. No shortage of action at the meetup games. Comes Jack 9 deuce rainbow. Action's on me. I decide to lead out into the field for $45. Usually when there's a lot of players, I like to exercise some pot control and start with a check. Having an overpair here, I block the best draw being queen 10, so I bet out for $45, and Harold min clicks it back to me for 90. He's a magician. I'm not going to let him get one through on me this time. I put in the call with my overpair, hoping I'm not behind a set or 2 pair. The turn card brings in the 5 of diamonds, and I check it over to him. When he checks behind, we can probably deduce we have the best hand. We'd definitely bet all of his 9s, jacks, or jack 9. So when he checks behind and the queen of hearts peels off on the river, bang, we river the set. Great spot for us. I'm not going to check it over to him. He's pretty much given up on the hand on the turn, so I need to bet small in order to get called by any of his 1 pair holdings. 65 is the price of poker. He folds, and I turn over my cards, showing everyone I was definitely not bluffing.
You'll never live it down.
Next hand, we have 900 in our stack, and I look down at ace-queen offsuit from the small blind. Few limps to me, so I raise it up to $30. We get 2 callers and see a favorable flop, ace-jack-deuce rainbow. Into the field of 2 players, I lead out for $30, a third the size of the pot. We get no takers though, so unfortunate, but always good to be scooping in a pot uncontested.
I love the way you talk to me, so please get them right off of me. I know that you want me, but I just wanna be alone.
Alright, Alright you guys, same hand here. We look down at ace queen offsuit once again. We're in early position and I open it up to $20. Getting 3 callers this time instead of 2. We see an ace high flop again, ace 9 deuce with 2 diamonds, and I decide to lead out into the field once again for $40. Remember that hand I played against Harold the Magician? He min raised me from 45 to 90. Now he's gonna min raise me from 40 to 80. Looks like that's his move, but of course I can't go anywhere with ace queen with the queen of diamonds. I put in the additional $40 and we see the ace of spades on the turn. Interesting card because now we have 3 of a kind. Can we be leading into Harold? We saw it last time when I called his min raise. He checked behind on the turn. That's why I suggest we could be going for a lead on this card, not wanting him to have a free card to any diamond draws. Instead, I decided to check it over to him, and sure enough, he checks behind, so he got me for a second time, and the river comes the 4 of hearts. Pretty harmless, so it seems. I'm going to bet out here and now get some value. $50 seems appropriate, around 20% the size of the pot, and now he re-raises me again to $125. Super strange line, but I can't get away from it. Can I ever be raising here, or are we only going to get called by better? I think that's probably the way you should look at it. If I raise here, what is he actually calling me with? Is he going to call me with ace 10 or ace jack? Yes, but most of the time it's going to be hands like pocket deuces, 9s, ace king, ace 4, ace 9, things of that nature. So I elect just to call, and lucky for us, we just call because he turns over a rivered boat. Ace 4 of clubs gets her on the river. Great check back from him. It gets her on the river and puts more money in the pot. And I turn over my ace queen. Pretty disgusting run out there, and I thought I had that one locked up. Another one going Harold's way. Looking to make some magic happen, I look down at ace 5 of clubs from the small blind. Leonard opens it up to $20 and I put in the call. Adam in the big blind calls as well. We're going 3 ways to a flop, which comes 6-4-4 rainbow. I start with a check, and it checks over to Adam, who bets out for $30, and Leonard and myself both put in the call. My logic for calling here is we have an overcard, we have ace high, as well as we have some backdoor draws, the nut club draw and a straight draw as well. We put in the call and the turn gives us some more outs. It comes to 3 of clubs. We're now open-ended. Any deuce or any 7 will give us most likely the best hand. I start with a check, Adam does as well, and Leonard checks behind, giving us a free card, which we appreciate. It comes the deuce of spades. Bang! We river the straight. Great spot for us. I now need to lead out into the field. Although the deuce of spades brings in the backdoor spade flush draw, I'm still going to bet out for $100. We can get called by any 4. We don't want to get called by 6s or a flush. This is a risky bet, but you got to go for thin value. Unfortunately, nobody finds a call, so we're going to win that $150 pot. We're on to the next hand. Our stack is getting a little bit small, just raising and folding in between hands. I end up topping up for another $500 to be at maximum capacity in case we get into a big hand. I look down at ace 10 of diamonds from middle position. Early position raises it up to $30. There's 2 callers to me and I call as well. The flop comes jack 10-5 with 2 diamonds. Pretty great board for us. We have an overcard, a pair, the nut diamond draw as well. So I'm going to lead out into the field here for $30. We end up getting 2 callers and we see the queen of diamonds on the turn. Bang! We turn the nut flush. Dream spot for us. A lot of bangs in this video so far, even though we're stuck in this session. I decided to get a little tricky here and check, and unfortunately the action gets checked around, bringing in a black card, the 8 of clubs on the river. 210 in the middle. What kind of sizing are you guys going for here with the nuts on the board? I decided to go for $175. Really polarizing. When I check the turn, it's unlikely the opponents could put us on the nut flush, so when I bet the river, it looks a little bit weird. I'm hoping someone is going to try to make the vlog and bluff catch me here. Fortunately though, everyone folds, so we don't get any extra value when we make the nuts on that board. Still pretty cool and a good feeling nonetheless.
So we'll just start from name. So you name a card.
9 of hearts.
9 of hearts. Name a number up to 20.
17.
17. I'm not going to touch the deck. I want you to take those cards out of the box. And this is what I want you to do. I want you to yeah. Hold them face down, and I want you to count to the 17th card. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. That's the 17th card.
Oh no.
Turn it over.
Are we drunk or is this guy just good? that good. Oh my god.
Next hand, we look down at the beautiful ace-king offsuit from the straddle. There's one caller, the big blind raises it up to 70, and now I'm in a weird spot. Normally, I'm going to be 3-betting here to like 250 to 275, but it's a huge raise, and from the big blind, it looks super strong. So I decided to play my ace-king pretty cautiously here, and I just flat call the 70, bringing in a flop of ace-queen-8. We flop top pair. Having position on the big blind, it's nice to see what he does first, and he leads out into me for $85. A raise here wouldn't make any sense, and it would likely just fold out all of his underpairs like jacks and tens, so I just flat call the 85, bringing in the jack of diamonds on the turn. Not a great card because now we're losing to ace queen as well as ace jack. Also now bringing in king 10 and some other hands like queens and jacks that we had beat pre-flop. Actions on him, and he slows down and checks now, which is great news for us. He's either slowing down because we have him beat, or he's slowing down to trap. Either way, I'm going to check back here and exercise some pot control. My hand is a little bit suspect even though I have top pair. We're losing to a lot of hands and I don't want to get check raised and put in a gross spot. I'd rather just call a bet on the river, which is exactly what I do. I check behind, and in this $320 pot, we river the 10 of spades. Bang, we river Broadway. Can't make this stuff up. We get there on the river with the nuts. If we didn't have the best hand already, we definitely have it now. And music to our ears, the big blind bets out for 2/3 the size of the pot for $225. Weird spot again. Interested to see what sizing you guys would choose on the river here. Obviously, I mean for a raise. Do you guys go large here, somewhere around 900 to 1100, making it look polarizing? It could be a bluff, it could be the nuts. Or do you go for the min raise, trying to get called off by a weak hand? That's what I decided to do, although it looks super strong. When I raise it up to $500, I just min click it back to him. He snap folds, so either he just put me on the nuts or he had a weak hand. Either way, we're going to take down that $555 pot of pure profit.
Look what Ethan made me buy in
That's awesome.
extra big line. Good luck with it.
Ethan, 7?
Oh my god.
I love the way you talk to me, so please get them right off of me. I know that you want me, but I just wanna be alone.
Few hands to go, we look down at pocket 9s from the small blind. The $10 straddle's on, and there's 2 callers over to me. I elect to pop it up to $40. It's a strong hand. Want to keep my range pretty ambiguous and not let the opponents know what I have. I make it $40, and we get 2 callers, so we're off to a flop which comes 6-5-3. We flop ourselves an overpair. That's worthy of a $50 c-bet. That's what I elect to do, and only the button puts in the call. Heads up out of position to a turn, which comes the king of clubs. Not a great card for our exact hand because it's an overcard to our 9s. However, is he really floating us on the flop with a hand that has a king in it? The only one I can think of is a king with 2 hearts, like king 10 of hearts, king queen, king jack, things of that nature. So I decide to represent my entire range. I'm going to have a lot more ace king and king queens in it than he will. I bet out for $105, putting pressure on any of his one pair holdings like ace 6, ace 5, maybe a heart draw we need to get value from. $105 is the price of poker, and the button gets out of the way, so he makes our decision pretty easy by folding. We're on to the next one. We look down at the Cowboys. We're on the button, and middle position opens it up to $15. Eric raises it up to $55, which is great news for us. The action's back over to me in the big blind. Gonna come in for the 4-bet. No sense in slow playing it and letting more people come in for cheap. I decided on a sizing of $150. And only Eric puts in the call. So we're going heads up in position to a flop. What's the worst flop you can imagine with pocket kings? I don't know, one that comes ace high, like ace 9-3 with 2 hearts. Pretty gross. Why can't it come queen high or king high? That'd be way better. Eric checks it over to me, and I still need to go for a c-bet. A check would be just way too weak. I'm still going to have a lot of aces in my range, so I decide to go for a bet of $60. Eric doesn't go for the check raise, which is great news for us. He just puts in the call, bringing in the deuce of hearts on the turn, and I check my cards to see if I have the king of hearts, which I do, and Eric checks it over to me. Now, I could be betting here. However, if I'm betting, I'm only going to get called by an ace or maybe a queen or jack of hearts flush draw. If I check back here, I exercise some pot control, and I can also get there on the river with any heart, giving me the best hand. So when Eric checks to me, I check behind, bringing in the 6 of spades on the river. Not exactly the card we wanted to see. I wanted to suck out on any ace with a heart on the river, but still, Eric's playing a very passive line when he checks it over to me for a 3rd time. Now, we could either check behind and get to showdown, which is probably the more standard route, or I've been experimenting with getting super thin value when I think that I'm good. He checks to me 3 times. He hasn't let me know that he has a very good hand, so I want to get a little bit more value from hands like something with a 9 in it. Maybe pocket 10s through queens could also pay me off as well. $100 is the price of poker, and Eric decides to fold. So we did have the best hand there, and he lets us know that. $435 coming my way. Right, you guys, I promise I gave my cards back to the dealer, but he gave me the exact same 2 cards. Pocket kings again now for middle position, and I raise it up to $20. We're only going to get called in one spot by the cutoff, so going heads up out of position to a flop, which comes queen, queen, jack, rainbow. Not exactly the best flop. King, queen, and ace, queen have us beat. I decide to check because I'm out of position and it's an interesting board. The cutoff checks behind, bringing in the 3 of spades on the turn. Now I got to get some value after checking the flop. I decide to lead out into the opponent for $20, half the size of the pot. Cutoff has none of it. He folds his cards, so we're 2 for 2 with the Cowboys on the session. Last hand of the night, and it's an interesting one. I look down at ace queen offsuit from the early position. I raise it up to $20, and we're going to get called in 2 spots, the button and the big blind. We're off to a flop 3 ways, which comes ace 3-3 with 2 spades. Big blind checks it to me, and I'm out of position to the button. Sure, there is a spade draw out there, but you got to be checking some of these flops as well with made hands. Can't just be checking when you miss and betting when you make it. That makes you a pretty face-up player, so I decide to check over to the button. He checks behind, bringing in the queen of diamonds on the turn. We now have a better 2 pair. Big blind checks to me for a second time. Gotta go for value and bet out for $30 into the $60 pot. Button folds, but the big blind looks me up for that price, bringing in the 8 of clubs on the river. The flush draw does not get there, which is great news for us. So when the big blind checks it over to me, gotta go for thin value one more time. I bet out around 20% of the pot for $30. This will allow me to get called by any worse ace, maybe a hand like king, queen, or queen, jack. If I bet bigger, he's just gonna fold a lot of those hands. Sure enough, he looks me up for $30. I turn over my cards knowing I'm good when he doesn't raise me, and he later said that he had a queen with a flush draw. So yeah, if I bet bigger there, he's just folding. Happy to take down another 6 big blinds there on the river, and just like that, our day is over. We rack up our chips and head over to the cage to exchange our chips into cold, hard cash.
Alright, you guys, wrapping up the meetup game here for Mariano and Ethan, my 2 buddies. Got into that for 1,000, topped up $500 more. Got out for $17.47, so a profit of $247. They're right behind us taking pictures or whatever. But yeah, super fun time. If you guys are new here, be sure to hit the thumbs up button. Subscribe if you're new. Leave a comment down below. I'll respond to all the positive ones. Good luck on the felt as always, you guys. I appreciate all the support, and meeting all you guys was a blast. Catch you guys in the next video. Peace.
Thanks for watching to the end of my video. Click my head below to subscribe and stay in the loop. See you next time.